Let me start by asking Arvind Gupta about the arrest of Venugopal Dhoot and Chanda Kochhar, Deepak Kochhar. For a long time it seemed that they'd be able to get away. Clearly they thought they were getting away because they've planned a big wedding in Rajasthan next month, guests have been invited, flights have been booked. This obviously come as a shock to them and as a surprise to those who are watching. What message does this send? Has it happened too late? What do you think has changed? And is crony capitalism really coming down at this moment?
Well, I think if the government say that they are zero tolerance for the corporate misdeeds, banking frauds, corporate bankers nexus, then this action should have followed much earlier, at least 5 years before. It's too small and too little, I would say.
Why was it delayed in your view?
That's the system. It takes years to go step by step, and then there are multiple organizations, institutions who look into it. Then of course there must be some political interventions and interests also. He has been a strong politician as well, and a very known political donor as well to all the parties. That could be one. And of course the corporate India obviously has their own weight. Who would touch them? But this action shows that they are not untouchable. They also can
okay, so you're saying that this is the right action, but it's happened 5 years late. Hemendra Hazari, your sense of why this action was so delayed? The fact that he's been arrested, and given the very clear money trail in this case, that a loan gets sanctioned by ICICI soon after an investment is made by Venugopal Dhoot into a company that's owned and run by Deepak Kochhar, that quid pro quo seems quite clearly established. The whistleblower in this case, Arvind Gupta, questioning the delay, is that something that surprises you immensely as well?
See, the evidence right from day one was self-explanatory. She should have been arrested immediately thereafter. When it comes to arresting PSU bankers and the public sector bankers, the regulatory and the police agencies seem to be extremely prompt. But here it seems there were very large political interests defending her. And it's a lesson that for these private sector bankers, because some of them thought that with their connections, they could evade arrest. Now, this rightly has been extremely delayed, and I suspect there are some other political reasons probably to deflect against some other scandal which may be brewing on the horizon, because there does not seem to be any additional information that we know in the CBI FIR that was the trigger for her arrest. So it appears that there is some other reason. I think the media would do well to try to identify what that reason could be.
We don't want to speculate, but it does raise questions. Tamal Bandyopadhyay, both our initial guests saying yes, there is a very clear case, but that case existed many years ago. If this action should have been taken, it could have happened earlier. You track the banking sector closely. What, according to you, explains the delay? And to what extent does it send out a strong message to the likes of Venugopal Dhoot, to the likes of Chanda Kochhar, that you cannot get away on the watch of the Modi government with this kind of blatant crony capitalism?
Well, I wish I knew the answer. Yes, there's a delay. I mean, that the fact that it happened between 2009 and 12, and something is happening after more than a decade, it's not that is surprising. The surprising is CBI FIR was filed, if I'm not mistaken, January 2019. So what has happened now? Almost after 3 years, this arrest is made. So have they come? Has the agency come across something new, some new information? That's the thing. So whether, and you rightly summed up, I think it's a shock for the Kochhar family and Mr. Dhoot, but for the media and a person like me, it's a surprise that why it did. I mean, why is it taking so long? I'm not taking for a decade, but almost 3 years for CBI. Has things changed? Has it come across new information to actually justify this? I don't know. But the point is, the record of CBI, our investigative agencies, to take such cases to their logical conclusion, I mean, leading to prosecution, is rare. So arrest does not send any shockwave or anything. Probably, I don't know, it's a question of surprise, nothing else. Only it will, if you want to send a signal, then you have to take it to a logical conclusion. In the past, there are many bankers who have been arrested. even thrown into jail, Arthur Road jail. They had to spend sleepless nights for weeks with hardcore criminals in the barracks, Arthur Road jail. But what happened? They all came out. So the lookout notices have been issued against certain bankers were arrested, certain bankers were quizzed for long at CBI quarters, so on and so forth. But what is the rate of prosecution? That's the critical part of it.